none other come to mind. Here at the Aurora Golf and Resort, with 120 players in the field, this is officially the last tournament in the first half of the season. How the calendar has flown by, and we are up here in Wonju-shi for 4 rounds of stroke play with 1 billion won up for grabs and some big names in the field. Ko Chi-won and Yoo-hyun Jo, they are the co-leaders. They shot rounds of 66. Chae Min-kyung, Im Jin-young, and Pung Min-ji are all at 5 under, and Pung Min-ji still has 1 hole to play. Kim Nae-an is also right there on page 1 of the leaderboard at 5 under. And it sounds like we have an official welcome from the tournament
글로벌 시장에서 지구촌 어린이와 청소년 그리고 가족들에게 캐릭터 토이와 컨텐츠를 통해 꿈과 사랑, 기쁨과 미소로 행복을 선물해온 오로라 월드가 오로라 골프 앤 리조트 개장 2주년을 기념하여 KLPGA 레이디스 챔피언십을 개최하게 됨을 매우 기쁘게 생각합니다. 강원도 원주시 구악산 중턱에 550m 고지에 고즈넉하게 자리 잡아 시원한 기후, 잘 꾸며진 레이아웃과 대자연이 선물한 풍광을 자랑하는 저희 오로라 골프 앤 리조트에서 제1회로 개최되는 2025 오로라 월드 레이디스 챔피언십은 여러분의 특별한 기억으로 남을 것입니다. 글로벌 시장에서 유행을 선도하는 팜팔스 캐릭터와 골프를 사랑하는 모든 분들과의 만남은 아주 특별한 축제가 될 것입니다. 대한민국을 대표하는 KLPGA 프로 여성 골퍼들의 뛰어난 기량과 열정을 직접 관람하고 응원하고 즐길 수 있는 골프팬 여러분들이 많은 관심과 참여를 부탁드립니다. 그동안 오로라 월드를 사랑해주신 국내의 고객 여러분께 진심으로 감사드리며 이번 대회를 통해 골프와 캐릭터 토이, 컨텐츠의 만남으로 웃음과 행복의 선물을 만끽하시기를 바랍니다. 감사합니다.
Well, undoubtedly a lot of excitement from the tournament organizers and the KLPGA as a whole. And this course is going to prove to be quite the challenge, worthy of such a high money event. Up here in the mountains, of course, we are right at the base of the 550-meter Guhaksan Mountain. So there's going to be the mountainous terrain. It's going to be a test of cardio and a test of, well, just about everything, certainly magnified in the heat. It is a scorcher. Thankfully, some overcast skies to do a little bit to help, but for a Thursday to kick off 72 holes, it is 34 degrees and overcast skies. Expecting the sun to break out in the next couple of hours and stay with us for the duration of this opening round as we see Lee Ga-young's attempt at number 6. A bit too much speed coming down the hill. She pops out the back side. Par is the result for her, as it has been to these first half a dozen holes to begin her round. We're playing the mountain course on the front 9. It's the lake course coming in. And this is the amateur, Kim Do-hee. Chance to get back to even. A little right to left break on this putt. Will be a welcome sound. Back-to-back birdies after back-to-back bogeys at the 4th and the 5th. Back June, it'll be a similar movement. Starting to the outside, she's going downhill, so it's such a fine balance, and she just hangs on. That'll do wonders for the confidence. That is her first birdie since the first hole. She moves to 1 under. Jungmin is on hole number 8, also a downhill putt, and also in the cup. Side of the top 20, a birdie with 6 pars in between before putting another circle on that scorecard. Dong in from the fringe. Downslope carries her further away from the pin towards the center of the green. Players are certainly feeling refreshed and ready to go. Different strategies for the summer break. Some want to play every day and not let the skill to finesse the swing specifics drop. Others say, you know what, I need a break. Keep the cardio up, keep the strength up, but otherwise put my clubs away for a little bit. It's a good putt. Most of the way back. All into 67, a very good day for Peng Min-ji. She will exit the course in the runner-up position at the moment. See how the rest of the field fares this afternoon. Back on this 6th hole, surrounded by birch trees and big boulders. Looking for a pin that is located just inside the front bunker. That bunker. A little bit short, that approach shot, with negligible wind, but downhill, so some refining to do, certainly. And over on 7, the very next hole, it's a par 5, and Ansungi is on in 2. 452 meters. She goes 448 or so with 2 shots. She'll be disappointed to leave that short. She will not be disappointed to collect a birdie. Next up is Coach Yu. She has chosen a 9-iron out the bag. Goes a little bit deeper, safely on. It'll be a downhill putt for birdie. Let's call that 5 and change before it finally comes to rest. So Jean with an 8-iron the last 2 tee off. And her group over on the 8th. 160 meters, the second longest par 3. It's another downhill. Stops up in the ribbon of rough just before the fringe. This is excellent from Kim Do-hee. She won here back in May. It was the Aurora Queens Cup for the amateur players. She'll experience her first regular tour, full tour, KLPGA as a recommended player. Only 18 years of age. And no Sungi, just a soft touch. She looks to get up and down for a par. Sung Eugene. It's an 8-iron at 8. The left side and gets a helpful roll back towards the middle, but on the downslope it's unhelpful, so I suppose it's a matter of perspective. Maybe I'll like the uphill putt next. Back to 6, Coach Yu. It's not going to lack for speed. Slightly off to the inside. And approach time with that crosswind remaining. Kim Do-hee has bragging rights at the moment. Lee Dong-eun, Jae-in-2, pardon me. How could I mix her up with that fluorescent yellow golf ball of hers? Putting on the par 7, or on the 7th. And it's uphill left to right break. Just the right amount of speed. Solid effort with the flat stick. Well done. EA1 obviously comes into every tournament as one of the favorites. She's still at even. Asked, of course, about the tournament and her preparation. She said, I took enough rest during the 2-week break and focused on strength and aerobic exercise so as not to interfere with my physical strength. Swing correction is also parallel, and the current shot sensitivity is gradually increasing. She, of course, is looking to win her most tournaments in a single season. Number 4 will be next. That's rarefied air if she can do it. And she still has half a season to go. So it's her first time here at Aurora Golf and Resort. Looking forward to it. And that's just around the bend, kicking out to the left. First bogey for No Sung-hee, that drops her to even. It's a tough one. Back to back to back birdies now for the amateur, finding her footing. Might she just be the next teenage sensation to take this tour by storm? Coach Yu attempting to save a par here at number 6. Uphill, firmly struck, earmarked for the cup. Young, 159 to go, her second, and she's curious, how's this going to fare? She's certainly up. Stops up on the fringe, about 12 meters past the pin. Up and down for birdie is never a bad result. Speaking of up and down, this has 2-putt written all over it. Sung Eugene with a backstroke that looks like a pitching wedge. It's hopeful more than designed. Take nothing away from the putt, it was a good one. Moon Jung-min. It'll be on pin high, that'll be about 2 meters left. Okay, June, her third on number 5. Takes the different strategy, not either trusting or knowing she didn't have the power to go into. Unfortunately for her, she's seeing just how tough a pin placement this is. Up and down from the rough, and she has her work cut out for her, and that will be the birdie putt. Jungmin, that's a par. 2 under. Coach, you and the group have arrived. Already a winner this season, the 23-year-olds. Gets a little bit of help from the hillside as she rolls back down into the fairway. The bunker's already claimed 1 victim here, and Sung-Yi will try to avoid it with her 9-iron. She's left. She wanted nothing to do with the sand. Not all that bad of a lie either. And Lee Ga-young from the fringe has the option. Chip or putt, she chooses the former. Another player that has already won this season. 26 years of age now, a veteran of this tour. That's what will be left to improve the score by 1 stroke. Yeah, one, she remains both in first place in the prize money rankings and the WeMix target points. But she has failed to make the top 10 in her last 4 consecutive competitions. She'd like to try to right the ship this week. First putt, it'll be almost identical to Lee Ga-young's, but that will be for the par. So back to 7 with no Sung-Yi. Dogleg right this hole from the teeing grounds. More or less make out the bunker just before the green from the tee blocks. Aim for that, and the rest in theory is easy. 452 meters, just a hair inside of 500 yards. Lee Ga-young has birdie number 1 today. See if she can treat that like the starter's pistol and pick up some more in her final 10 holes or so. Eight iron for each and 2. It's officially 7 yards off the front, this pin. You do not want to be long, as we've seen. That is about as good as you can play it. For those curious about the hole-in-one prizes this week, I always am. Got a hybrid iron set on hole number 6, and which is worth about 10 million won. Hole number 8, where we just were, has a brand new massage chair. Take that too. Tuxana bed set for 12 and a BMW 520i on 17. If we get shots like this, I don't think we have a prize for an eagle, but heck of a golf shot that is. You'd forgive me, you'd forgive her for not expecting that to fall, but hey, a memorable moment early in her round. The next approach goes long and goes left. Backside of the hill behind the green. And Coach Yu trying to fade this around the corner. Movement looks good. Uses the fringe to slow her up. That's just about perfect as it lands pin high. Not necessarily one for the highlight reel, but other than the eagle we saw about 30 seconds ago, I think that's the best shot of the day thus far. Alright, so that group makes their way down. Unsongi, just a little tap. Basically a putt, just using the wedge to get underneath it. Kicks and she skips, sliding left. Get up the hill and stay on line, but a little snap to the inside, and she can't replicate her big time putt at the last. looks on and nods her head, approves of that drive. It's the line for the fairway. And EA1. Difficulties continue. Couldn't get that to bite by virtue of her line being so deep. She still has some work to do. And Sung-Yi slightly less so. Also not the rest of the way. And that's a nice touch from the fringe. Lee Ga-young and a 9-iron. Yeah, that's well played. And this was going to need a lot of power to get all the way up the hill. Stopped just short. And one last close call just before the turn. Need a little nudge to get it the rest of the distance away. Sung Eugene makes it 7 pars in a row. She's out with a 34, just outside of the top 20. Coach Yu can get to 3 under with one swing of the putter as she looks uphill. Gave it a good crack, but she's slightly off to the left. No slouch with the birdie, even if it wasn't the result she wanted. Kim Do-hee officially with his back 9 underway. 10 starts with quite the challenge, doesn't it, with that pin placement? And that's going to be more than a head scratcher for No Sungi. That's disappointing. The approach is one of a conservative nature, finding the middle of the green as we reach the bottom of the clock. 2:30 in the afternoon here in Wonju-shi, the inaugural Aurora World Ladies Championship. Hung Min-ji, is this the week she finally hits that elusive 20th victory? It's almost ridiculous to say out loud. She's very much in the hunt. One back with a 67 after 18, but Ko Chi-won and Yoo Hyun-jo are our leaders here at Aurora. And welcome back to the Aurora World Ladies Championship. Reaching around the midway marks, I should say plural, for most of our featured groups. Tap in with the second putt to record the par. Next effort also from quite some distance, is tracking well. Just running out of runway at the end. Hop and a skip, rolling through the rough and almost bouncing off the rake before entering the sand trap. She'll have a little bit of right to left break. It's downhill, and we understand well why Kim Do-hee kept the flag stick in. She needed it as a backboard. It's back to back to back to back. 4 birdies in a row.
괜찮아.
This is how it looks from the opposite side of the fairway. That little wiggle, if you will, off the tee. And now Cheonu. 50-degree wedge for her as her tee shot at 10 finds the rough. Only 104 to go, though. A front pin placement, trying to go on the attack. Comes up just a bit short. That's down to the left side of the green, and the rollback will be helpful. It's a very nice on. Well played by Coach Yu. That's more like it. Good tee shot. Should have been waiting for one like that. Kickstart a little run. Well, she was gone missed with the approach, and unfortunately the putter follows suit. More putt to get her the rest of the way. It is a drop shot at number 9, 1 under after 9 holes. Not much to write home about with the approach. The walk begins. Athletes and spectators alike. Action continues thick and fast. This is about as perfectly as you can play that approach. Just over the rough. Using it, in fact, to slow you right down. Very good shot indeed. On number 9. And Osungi shall be satisfied with the tee shot here at 8. Needs the break to come alive. Starts a little early, slows down at the end. Okay, June, a pitching wedge at number 9, 117 to go. The side spin. She catches the downsloping hill and ends up closest to the pin. An understandable ear-to-ear grin on her face after a really nice shot. And Coach Yu. Seen a few of these already. We know it'll pick up speed in a hurry. Broke too soon. Dohee. Well, she is human after all. Rare mistake for her. I don't think it's going to prove to be that costly, though. Only 96 meters to go. Didn't quite have the carry on that approach and has left herself with a lengthy par putt that could end the birdie streak. A long time coming for EA1. She'll feel like the round starts now. 2 putts, and she gazes down at the face of the blade, wondering what's going wrong with the putter at the moment. Moon Jung-min, 2 under through 10. Spin brings her to a stop about 7 meters shy. Gallery likes the shot, and that's why. It was a good one. Perfectly into the fairway. Pause for the birdie. Park Jun goes out with a 34. Starting to find her strides. Quick pitching wedge. Hand off to the caddy. Grab the putter and prepare for the putts to hopefully bring the hole to a conclusion. Well, we got some activations going on. The aforementioned Pom Pals. They're a hit. And I don't know if the has ever been a more adorable trophy. It's fitting. The Aurora World Ladies Championship. Stay with us. We say stay with us, of course, because we're not going anywhere. Right back to work. So close, but leaving a little bit to be desired. So Jean just inside the fringe, but it gets away from her. gone missed by a fraction. So it's not only the end of a run, little adversity for the amateur. Eight iron for No Sung-Yi. This will work its way down to just past pin high. It's a deep green here at 9. 10 yards from the back and a 46-yard putting surface right in the middle. The next at 10, that will get glued to the fringe. Depth-wise, she was just about spot on. Tailing around and sailing past. And Sung-Yi from the sand just to the right of the fairway at 10. He blasts it out and recovers decently well. The last to approach at 9, it's closest from the group. Judged that well and executed equally strongly. It's a bluebird day in the heart of summer. Final day of the month. Turn the calendar tomorrow and all of a sudden it will be August and we will just about be in the second half of the KLPGA season. No movement on page 1 of the leaderboard, but still 9 holes to go, and then some. Yunsu worth highlighting. She's within 2 through 16. She's playing the front 9 on the way in. Perhaps we'll see her finish in about 15 minutes. We'll have more. Stay with us on the KLPGA Tour. Hour 2 begins at the Aurora Golf and Resort. CA1 was looking to make it 2 for 2 after a sluggish start to the tournament.
Nice ball.
She'll settle for a par. It's in a decent position, though she has some climbing yet. She was still off the green, but each and two gets it good and close. And the oohs and ahs. That close Snosungi's in a bit of a tough way right now. Not time to panic, but she could use a birdie to lift her spirits. Hasn't had one since the first. It's an even par 36 at the midway mark. And that's a bit of a puzzling miss from that close. A little more than 2 meters and struggles to find the bottom of the cup. Let's see if Ichan 2 can save her par. Fortunately not. She's on the backside of it. Not the only one in this situation at the moment. You'd expect some rust after the break. It's only natural. Put that up there in the top of the approach reel so far today. Judged to perfection. A short par the rest of the way. She did the hardest part moments before. It's 2 putts for the par, and she hits the turn at 2 under. Who's next? Staying in the vein of putting these wedge shots within a meter or two. Seems like there's a few players starting to catch their stride at just the right time. Comes from the center of the green, crests the hill and stops just short. And to 10 after a brief delay. Par 4 over the water to get it started, and with the ping of that wood, she's away and following the path of the rough to the right of the fairway, but safely inside of it. Puckett June, first of a few longer looks. Wouldn't be expecting a whole lot more than that. Moon Jung-min from the fairway next. And that looks good. Excellent birdie. You got Young 9.7 to go low at 10. It's just a little bit short though. This is so a June for a birdie. Short and simple. Great approach, good putts. She's going up. Coach Yu was hoping for a little extra roll through that tall grass, but it's a shot from the rough at number 10. Prevented her from hitting and sticking, but it's a makeable putt even if the odds are slightly stacked against her. Now Cheonu. This takes her to 4 under. No swinging, 48-degree wedge from the rough. On the green, but it's going to take at least 2 putts, you'd have to imagine, from that distance.
마이크 한 킬까요? 빼실 필요 없어.
58-degree wedge for A1, dead center in the fairway. See, it's a test of bravery over the sand, and the A1 is about as brave as it gets. Things shaping up well. After 70 minutes, the Aurora World Ladies Championship. Beautiful day for it too on a Thursday afternoon in July, our last. We'll have more in just a few minutes. And welcome back. We're on the 10th green. We're with Coach Yu. She's putting for birdie. She leaves it short, and it'll be a long walk. This is right at the flag, almost in blindfolded birdie range. Next approach is full of pace, running it up the hill past the flag at 12. Sungi, she is desperate to improve on that score, but she had a lot of ground to cover at 12 meters. It's a little short. So Jean on the par 3. Heads right, skips off the rough and comes back onto the green. A pretty good spot too. It's Birdie indeed, EA1. She took a while to get going, but it's look out from here. On Sungi. Short distance the rest of the way, but she's there. And not much to that putt. Still had to make it, of course. So much green to find. She's almost off with the Flamingos. Simple finish the rest of the way. No Sungi. Go to Mark with some work yet to do. Kim Do-hee. It's been a minute since we've seen her. It's because she's out in the long par 5. It's a big walk. Ready to go back to work, using the backspin to keep her on the back left corner of the 13th green. And that just had enough legs. A couple today that went down on the wire. JNU, what a run since hole 6. 4 birdies and an eagle at 9. She is within 1 and is playing some fantastic golf in the minute. Back at 13. A little too deep. The upsloping fringe, it will stay on. In fact, it'll come back. Gallery's allowed to be greedy. They're asking for a little more. Well, we told you it was mountainous, and we weren't being hyperbolic. Certainly get your steps in here.
고생하셨습니다.
Down the center of the fairway, couldn't have placed it any better. Just not enough speed, close to the birdie. Next up on the tee is Coach Yu at 2 under through 10. It's a long way to go coming down. Jungmin, 4 under quietly if she makes this putt. It's 5 meters. Got a quick wobble and broke off its line. Won Sung-Yi with a rare 4-iron. And the hybrid's not for me. Yun-Sua at 18. Oh, it fades away. Kim Do-hee for birdie. That's just going to come up short. Short, simple tap-in finish, but she'll have to settle for par. Yun-Sua, it's a bogey. It's still a remarkable first 9. 4 under at the turn. Would be more than enough to be on pace to go to the top. Gotta do it all over again. Moon Jung-min a simple tap in for 3 under through 13. The distance was good. The speed, that is. It breaks away at the last moment. Park Hye-jun for an eagle at 11. Splits her groupmate's ball marker in the hole, which makes it about as tap-in of a tap-in as you could possibly have. And so Jean, her approach also on the par 5, but 2 holes further along. Good speed and carry to get to the back. The first half a dozen so holes, you're really just watching the players shake some rust off, get acquainted with the course, the conditions, the temperatures, the winds, etc. I think we're officially at the point where everyone is very much in their groove, and we should expect some big-time movement. Next at 11. Down over the fountains. Oh, it's down over the sand. She's just a bit short and is headed to the beach. Gesturing a little bit wide, but maybe she was also just saying get up. to stop just in the nick of time on a string. Well played at the par 5. Yeah, one uphill approach. Kicks a little left and carries plenty of speed. Perhaps nobody on the course is as close to taking a position at the top of the leaderboard. Quite like our player in the fluorescent shirt. She's tough to miss, not only for her attire, but for her fantastic play. That's Jayanu. She is within one, still with a third of her round to go. I mean, 6 under might not be enough. We might need to start counting up into the 7s and 8s. Try not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but she's sitting in a great spot, Jayanu, within one of Kochi 1 and Yoo Hyun Jo's lead at this inaugural Aurora World Ladies Championship. ladies and gentlemen, this is a putt to share the lead. Chanu on the 13th. Downhill with plenty of break. She was just a bit off to the left. Unfortunately, she has 5 more holes to chase that 6-under score down. I think all things considered, she would likely consider that a bit of a setback. This is No Sung-yi for an eagle. Quickly vaulted to 2-under. It's not going to go, but she will have a tap in birdie. So Jean, this isn't a tap in, but also on the par 5, a chance to improve her score. And that won't hang on. Chanu's miss was to the inside. Hers breaks away to the right at the last moment. Bit of a bizarre one. In the same vein, EA1 is close, but that's not going to go. See if Sung Eugene can buck the trend. Without looking directly at the line, she knows how precarious this is. It's going to take a delicate touch. Yes, just enough. Good birdie. She goes to 2-under. It's her first since the second hole and her third of the day. So the par 3s on the way in are 12 and 17. First, just a little bit steeper than she would have liked. We return to 11. Coach you at 4.4. This is going to break right. Breaks a little late. Sung-yi. Approach time. Dig in. Yes. Now Sung-yi, a simple tap to finish it off. And she can celebrate. She's under par. Jungmin, 57 meters and a 58-degree wedge here at the 14th. Not a particularly high lofted shot. Bumps that up onto the green and we'll have, let's call it 4.5, 5 meters uphill for the birdie. Solid drive to get the hole started. Crescent-shaped putt that ends up moving right in the final moments. Two putts gets her there. Kimi G, the next to tee off on 10 over the water. One with a 5-wood. 153 meters. It's deep, certainly at the back of this par 3. Not a wood, pardon me, the hybrid, of course. Kim Do-hee just about back, but narrowly to the inside. Coach Yu looking to play the iron. Jungmin, she gave herself a lot of room to the inside. It didn't move as much as she expected it to. Well, there was a brief moment when we thought we'd see Cheonu's name at the top at this particular moment, but she wasn't quite able to capitalize on hole number 13. She's headed to the first of 3 par 4s in a row next. We also have In-ju Yeon through 14 2-back, and Yoon Soo-ah, who still has the entirety of a back 9 to go. Mind you, she's playing on the mountain course within 2 as well. Everyone in the field, all 120 players, competing for $1 billion this week up here in Aurora. Approaching 4 p.m. here at Wonjushi, or in Wonjushi. We're at the back of hole number 12. Coach Yu just clears the fringe and will let gravity do the rest. That's marvelous display of her elite short game play. About 5 revolutions or less away from holing out for that birdie. The Rookie of the Year last year. Peteruan. Working away most of the distance from the fringe to the pin. Getting onto the green, the backspin keeping it firmly in place. It's well on at 14. This is a lengthy putt as well at number 12. Stopped just beside the ball marker of her acquaintance. One safely on the green. We will turn our attention back to the par 5. Ansungi looking for 4 under. She's got a big grin. She saves her par. The side of the green judged well. She could have used maybe a little bit more club. Splitting hairs at that point. Kim Do-hee stalling out a little bit at 2 under. That could be a good opportunity, though, to get back to her birdieing ways. Unfortunate bit of backspin as she doesn't clear the hill or crest it. She's not the only one in that boat. Very good shot indeed. Just to the right of the center of the fairway. And right between her group mates and taking the closest to the pin awards. You know it's an uphill green when the flagstick is twice the size. Yeah, one still at 2 under begins. Chanu, another chance. Serpentining putt. Snaking left and right, and ultimately just missing. Park Hye-jun looking for 4 under. Doesn't get the break to the right that she needed. Short tap in to finish off that par. No swingy. She's still at 1 under after 12 holes. A long hike up this par 5. A little extra strength. She actually goes past the fairway and is technically in the second cut. Coach Yu will be the last to make this second shot. She really went for it. She had that luxury. I think she's that buried. You gotta risk it to realize those eagle dreams. Downhill putt that's just a little slow. Shake of the head. We're in a bit of a rut right now collectively, aren't we? It's a hot one. These players have been out for 3, some of them 4 hours, and a return to work is just enough of a factor to prevent some of these birdies. Simple tap to finish off the hole. Couldn't be any more on the line than that was. He goes to the back and stays on just before the fringe. A little bit extra muscle to work this up from the rough. So all things considered, that's an excellent result.
너무 타이트하게 보지 마. 여기 뒤에서 퍼트해도 괜찮아.
And then Sung-Yi. That'll work out just fine. Side by side with each AN2, front right of the green. So go shoot. Roll the dice. She missed left. She's 19 meters out. Tried to use the hillside to slow her down, but she didn't carry quite far enough. She'll have the option to putt or chip. I would presume she chooses the latter. And that's what she wanted to do the first time. Probably should have been there. Great chip. And Moon Jung-min for 4 under here at 15. Well, she's bided her time, steadily picking up birdies throughout the round thus far. Sung-Yi joins the birdie party as well and is picking up some momentum towards the end of this first round. She was playing cautious, and you can't blame her for what's on the other side of that pin. And Cheanu still lurking around the top of the leaderboard. Another fantastic opportunity to get a tie. And Sung-Yi for 2 under, 6.5 meters from the border of the fringe. Starting right. That's going to go. Excellent putt. Insua up to the middle and stopping about 8 meters short. Sung Eugene marginally off. She'll have very little left. Pulled back on a string, but up in very makeable birdie distance. Chanu gets it done. 3 holes to go. The most dramatic part of that was the setup. It was smooth sailing from there. 6 under, and now a 3-way tie at the top. We'll go to the 3rd hole. Something we don't get to see that often. The first half dozen or so of the mountain course. No swinging starting off this 14th. She's gonna nearly arrive in the social contribution target zone, which means to say it's a good drive.
벙커 쪽 가면 러프는 들어가서.
A1 following suit. And Unsungi, here she goes. It's a perfect 3 for 3. You'd expect nothing less, and what a long drive that is as well. Arriving next at the tee on 10 is Hung Yun So. Business as usual, as she'd hope, and as she'd expect. We'll have just enough speed to reach at 14. It's a good birdie. Let's go back to 15. An Sung-yi, after a great long drive, goes uphill on the par 4, stops on the hillside. That's actually going to be a trickier putt than if it had come down a little more. Moving his way back in with a little more speed, it might have been there. Kim Soo-hyun 3. She's 2 under after 9. Moon Jung-min, another crack at 5 under, but once again she is 99% perfect, and in this sport you need 100. And Sung-yi from 14 rolls that up pin high on the green. She'll be happy with that. She'll use the back of the putter, that's how close she is. Some backspin, she nestles that ball onto the edge of the green and the fringe. Goes up and making it look easy. Big looks. What a view. Out into the mountains of Wonju-shi. Jae-nu has 3 holes to build on this advantage. She is tied for the lead with Yu Hyun-jo and Ko Chi-won thanks to that birdie on hole number 15. There is still a few players in and around that 4 under, 3 under mark on the second page of the leaderboard, but they've yet to make their biggest splash. Perhaps that's to come when we return to the Aurora World Ladies Championship. What a way to resume. 3 birdies and 4 for No Sung-yi, who was really fighting it on the front nine. She has certainly bounced back in a big way, thrusting herself back into this competition and making her presence felt. Now Cheonu, our co-leader, big shot, the approach at 16. Uphill par 4, wide green with a back pin placement. She does pretty well to get most of the way there. And a swooping putt with a bit too much break for EA1. That's not going to fall.
나이스 파.
Moon Jung-min, not quite. Sun Eugene is 97 meters out. Trying to follow Chayanu up to the green. Brilliant results. Any closer, you're in the hole.
나이스 버디. 나이스 버디. 도전 파이팅.
Coach Yu, her first birdie since hole 7, and the gallery applauds her patience and resilience. What a beautiful day we've had. Certainly on the hotter side, but in peak summer, it's what you'd expect. Great to have the KLPGA Tour back. The summer break is understandable. These athletes work so hard and time off is so rare in season. But we missed it. That's fair to say. Fortunately for us, this is just the 50% mark. We still have half a season to go. What an autumn it's shaping up to be. Quite gonna fall. It's looking promising most of the way down. Chayanu will have to settle for a par here. Chun Gio. She's 2 under at the turn. Disappointing one from so close. Two putt from there is put a little bit of a dent in the confidence. drive skipping down to the left side. No target. No Sungi is certainly in a good way right now. Big green to aim for. Uphill is easier said than done to actually reach it. Drive exactly where you'd want it. Slamming on the brakes, it needs to. Baking under the sun, these greens are playing quick. That makes us 3 for 3. The long walk begins. Kim Do-hee. It started as such a promising round. It's not gone poorly, but our birdies have dried up. 4 in a row at one point. And on swinging 13.2, it's a long way to go. Jungmin, she avoided disaster. This is not where you'd expect to see the second shot on 18 be played. Right alongside the cart path. It's a little bit long towards the bleachers. Not sure who has a better view, the flamingos or the gallery in the front row.
Okay, buddy.
And Lee Chung-eun two, yes. Lee Chan two, pardon me. Nice birdie to end a run of 9 without one. She and Lee Dungen are in a similar boat. BA1. It's emblematic of her round. Good, but not quite as excellent as we're used to seeing. Chenu working back down the hill. And 17, that was the putt for birdie, so now it's suddenly a par save. That'll work just fine. Lots of speed until the spin brings it to a sudden halt. She'll have a putt for birdie. She avoids the bogey. She can escape with an exhale. Beg your pardon. It was 2. Hey, it's my first day back from summer break too. But yes, disappointing to say the least. But she has a chance to get it back on 18. Moon Jungmin is hot on her heels, 1 stroke back. An Sung-hee has 2 holes to play, 2 back. Park Hae-jun still has 3 to go. And that same spot tied for 8th. We'll take a quick break. Time to top up your tees and join us for the final half an hour or so in this opening round of the Aurora World Ladies Championship at the Aurora Golf and Resort. We're in the closing stretch of this opening round. EA1 is hoping that today is the day to just iron out some of the wrinkles and get back on the chase for tomorrow. Hovering around that 30-40 mark doesn't disqualify you from winning by any chance, or by any means, pardon me. In large parts, the story of the first round. Good, not great approaches that lead to tough putts. Another one for the column. Two putts gets her the par. Kimdo-E. Too quick, not enough break. That needs to stop. The birdie. No Seung-Hee, she is certainly not on the same trend. She has been steady and exhilarating in this back nine. Towards the golfing heavens as that putt goes missed.
네, 하겠습니다.
From a tough spot in the hillside rough, she minimizes the damage. It's pretty good on. Jungmin, 3 pars on the way in, bogey free, 4 under, and a top 10 finish. And just a bit too quick as it pops out the other side. All she can do is smile. She was that close to something pretty remarkable. No Seung-Hee on 16. 3 holes to go. And the run in. And on 18, the arrival is, let's call it conservative. Still a good distance to make up. Skirting the fine line between the fringe and the rough, and she drops into the tall grass on the par 3. And here on the par 4, so far so good. Sung Eugene, this is her 3rd on 18 from beside the bleachers. Should be able to make that par. Nosungi's approach on the par 4 is a very good one, emblematic of a scorching hot pack 9. Coach Yu trying to follow suit and doing so. Nice on. EA1, last on the party, 92 meters, 50-degree wedge, and a 4-meter climb up the hill. It's a really nice grouping. Everyone will be satisfied with those approaches. And Janu, one last chance to make it back to 6 under. Catches a piece of the side of the cup. It's not to be, and that bogey on the par 3 17th will haunt her. Birdie putts at 16. Coach E will go first. And that's just wide. Didn't move. Stayed straight, and she burns the edge. Here's Sun Eugene for par. Deceptive break on it. She handles it well. Birdies at 1, 2, and 13. A bogey at 10. It's a 70 in the opening round. And EA1, 2.5 meters. It's good. A birdie. 3 under now. Her 4th of the day. Told you it's her first time here. She needs to figure out where she has to go. Janu confirms that par is 67 in the opening round. An eagle as well, and a bogey on either side to cap it. Barring a late push, she'll start the day with the day tomorrow, pardon me, with the second best score. First putt doesn't do enough. She'll have one more. And no Sungi to move within 1 with 2 to play. There was bound to be a moment. Comes at a poor time so close to the end. We got Young on 17. So a little tap to get it the rest of the way. The Palm Pals out on the boat, taking in the sights. We'll take this opportunity to go through the first round highlights before we say farewell. A lot of the biggest climbs happened early in the day. This was on 16, or pardon me, this was 16, which would have made it the par 5, hole number 7. A nice birdie to vault up towards the top. 3 is where we'll head next. Another group playing the front nine, the mountain course on the way in. 3 under at this point, but how quickly that can change. Really, really impressive putt from quite some distance. At that point, it was a 5 on the day. Next up, hole number 5, and this is a putt from the fringe. A little right to left. It did have to come up on the hill and just hang on long enough. Nice birdie is selling it a bit short. It was quite the putt from Im Jin Young. And we'll see it again on the par 3 6th 9-iron. Over the water and just about perfect. Nearly an ace. Birdie as a consolation prize to continue to move up the leaderboard. 4 is where we'll go next, and 4 under was the score before this putt. 2 meters, slightly downhill, right to left movement, and moving into the bottom of the cup. 5 under after back-to-back birdies. It was just about a bogey-free round. She wasn't done there. Going up the hill and moving into a tie at the top. All in 7 birdies in this in this first 18 to share the lead. Now there was a time when that lead was under threat. Cheonu was quiet through the first 5 holes. In fact, she was +1 heading to the 6th tee. She bogeyed number 3, and then something just started to click. This was our sign that maybe something was on. An eagle at the 9th, so despite that slow start, she really picked it up. Picked up an eagle at 9, would go out with a 33. This was around the same time that we saw one of the best runs of birdies all day long from one of our youngest players on tour, the teenager Kim Do-hee. She would go bogey back-to-back 4 and 5, but then 7, 8, 9, and 10. 4 birdies in a row. Unfortunately for her, that would be it until a bogey at the 18th, where she would finish the round with a 71. Cheonu, she just kept this birdie machine rolling, churning out circles left, right, and center. That was the one at 12. There would be more. There would be a little bit of drama as well. But before we get to that, the setup to the shot that would take her to the top of the leaderboard. From 95 meters out, a 50-degree wedge and a big, big climb. Perfectly judged weight. The line was equally as impressive. She would relinquish a stroke, though, on the par 3 17th to finish with a 67. That puts her in a tie with Peng Min-ji and Chae Min-young, pardon me. Im Jin Young and Ho Da-min also at those scores. Ho Da-min, though, won back with 4 holes remaining in her front 9. Ko Chi-won and Yoo Hyun-jo, the leaders for now, at the end of 3 hours at the Aurora Golf and Resort. I believe this is the time where we say goodbye. We thank you for joining us. It's great to have you back. Your viewership and support of the KLPGA Tour always appreciated. We'll do it all over again, same time tomorrow, 2 p.m. local, up here in Wonju-shi. But for all of us at the tour, I've been Adam Jenkins saying so long for now. We'll see you tomorrow for more at the 2025 Aurora World Ladies Championship.